What if everything you know about Tupac's death is a lie? Gene Deal just revealed a secret so explosive, it could destroy 3 of hip-hop's biggest legends. Jay-Z was hiding in a back room that night in Vegas. Diddy knew more than he's ever admitted. And the real evidence? It's buried in Cuba, far from anyone who might expose the truth. This isn't just another conspiracy theory. This is about to shatter everything you thought you knew about that fatal night. The bodyguard who witnessed hip-hop's darkest secrets claims he saw Jay-Z cowering behind closed doors while Tupac demanded answers. He watched Suge Knight make a split-second decision that changed the course of history. And now Deal says the smoking gun evidence that 3 billionaires have been hiding for 27 years is sitting in Cuba, where American law can't touch it. You think you know who killed Tupac? You don't know anything. What Deal is about to reveal will make you question every story, every investigation, and every headline you've ever believed about that night in Las Vegas. The most powerful men in hip-hop have been running from this truth for nearly 3 decades, but their time is up. Gene Deal says this night wasn't just about the East Coast-West Coast feud. Something happened behind the scenes that almost nobody knows. Deal claims Tupac heard a shocking thing. Jay-Z was in the same building, hiding in a private room. At the time, Jay-Z was still building his name. But for Tupac, this was huge. He wanted answers.
I guess Pac had got whiffed that Jay-Z was in town. Well, you know he gonna do a show because Jay-Z, he doing a show. But you gotta realize Jay-Z had became an enemy of Pac because I think he had said some or was gonna do a song with Big or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards. So Jay is now Pac's enemy. So he gets a phone call saying that Jay is not gonna come out the room because Tupac threatened him. So he's not gonna do his show. Can he make some phone calls, you understand, to get Pac off the bullshit?
According to Gene Deal, Jay-Z didn't want to come out that night. He was trying to stay safe, to avoid the chaos unfolding around him. But Tupac, fueled by anger, adrenaline, and a need for answers, wanted to confront him. Just as the tension was about to explode, Suge Knight stepped in. Deal recalls Suge telling Tupac, "Give him a pass." Those 6 words changed everything. What could have erupted into a confrontation was stopped, but the questions, the tension, and the uncertainty didn't disappear.
I think he may have talked to Big D and Eric B called Suge, and Suge was laughing, saying that wasn't him, because they tried to make it seem like it was Suge that was doing it, but it was Pac. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out his room.
Why was Tupac so determined to face Jay-Z? Was it about loyalty, respect, or something much bigger? Was there a secret linking New York's top players, a truth the public never got to see? And why did Suge, a man known for escalating conflicts, suddenly step in to hold Pac back?
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, he was scared. Probably still is scared.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And Suge, he told Pac to chill out.
Yeah, Suge told Pac to chill out. You know what I'm saying? Because see, they was trying to, so you gotta realize is that it was gonna call a dissension because they were trying to start Death Row East Coast.
Deal insists Suge understood the stakes. A fight could have ruined more than just that night. It could have exposed secrets, money, and powerful people's names. Tupac was fearless, outspoken, a man who never backed down. Yet even he paused when Suge intervened. That moment showed just how high the risk really was.
Who told you this story, if you don't mind me asking?
I was there.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know you was there. So you was there when Jay was scared to come out his hotel room. I had no idea, man.
I used to roll with Chaz every day, bro.
For a few long minutes, the room was silent. Jay-Z stayed hidden. Tupac held back. But everyone present knew something nearly happened. A confrontation that could have changed the course of hip-hop history forever.
I used to roll with Chaz every day, bro. And then it came out. And then it came out, somebody else told the story. But that, I think it may have been Dame Dash or something like that that told the story.
Now, this allegation forces us to ask questions we've never fully considered. Was Jay-Z really hiding? If so, what was he afraid of? And why, for once, did Tupac, a man famous for facing his enemies head-on, focus so intensely on him? That night, a single decision, Suge stepping in, kept the world from seeing a confrontation that might have rewritten history. And according to Deal, that moment left a shadow over every story that followed. Gene Deal paints it as a turning point. Not the shooting, not the chaos outside, just the silence in that room. A moment that left a secret, and maybe changed the story of hip-hop forever. Why did Tupac want to confront Jay-Z? And why did Suge Knight intervene? This isn't just gossip. According to Gene Deal, what happened that night could change how we see one of hip-hop's biggest mysteries. The shooting, the chaos, the rumors, we've heard all of it before. But Deal is pointing fingers in a way that puts Diddy, Jay-Z, and Suge Knight right in the middle of the story. And suddenly, it's not just about a street fight or a beef anymore. It's about secrets, power, and survival.
We were rapper in Atlanta that something was bought and he thought I was gonna lie about it because Puff was trying to say it was his and it wasn't his, it was Big's. And you understand? And when he said, and they had made a bet that I was gonna go on Puff's side. So when I got to the studio, I said, nah, Puff, you had that one and Big had that one. And that's what it was.
In the late 90s, tensions in hip-hop were off the charts. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry wasn't just headlines. It was personal. Every song, every interview, every move in public could spark something dangerous. Pac was at the center of it all, but so were Diddy and Suge. Jay-Z was rising fast, and Deal says that night, his presence or absence wasn't random. And according to Deal, someone didn't want certain things getting out.
Used to give functions and parties there, and then one time me and Puff walked up in there. It was this was after Pac got shot and everything like that, and it was Pac and like 4 other guys, and Pac put a cigarette in his mouth. The dude lit the cigarette. I started laughing.
That's where the controversy comes in. For decades, fans have tried to piece together what really happened in Las Vegas. Who fired the shots? Who had motives? Deal claims he's giving a glimpse behind the curtain. What really went on in private rooms, in tense conversations, and in moments that weren't captured on camera. It's a world where a single word, a single glance, could change everything.
Right after Suge Knight made that statement, what did Puff do? He got on stage, because if a brick hits you, say ouch. He got on stage and spoke on it. You know, another executive come up here speaking on that. I love Dr. J, I love what they doing. I get Death Row, they props in the whole 9 yards. If he thought he was talking about Jermaine Dupri, why the fuck would he spin and say something right then and there?
Deal's story challenges everything we thought we knew. We've always focused on the East Coast-West Coast beef, Suge's aggression, and Pac's fearless nature. But what if the truth is messier? What if powerful players were hiding, maneuvering, and making decisions in secret, while the public only saw the chaos? That's what Deal claims happened.
Everybody wanna write their exit or write their entrance the way they wanna write it and not tell the truth. Tell the truth so these young kids can understand, so these young kids could not make the same mistakes that you made. But they're not gonna do that, because everybody wanna be bigger than what they are.
And it doesn't stop there. According to him, there were moments that could have led to disaster, or maybe even saved lives. Decisions were made in the shadows, alliances were tested, loyalties were questioned. And through it all, the world only saw what it was supposed to see, a night of violence and confusion.
When did the tension and beef start between Death Row and Bad Boy?
All the tension started between Puff and Suge Knight. You understand? All the tension came from Puff and Suge Knight. Suge wanted Puff to have Big them do a show. Puff wanted to get paid for Big doing the show. But Suge had did a whole lot of shit, free shit for Puff at one time. Because when Puff used to come out to California, before he could afford security, before he could afford it, Suge used to look out for the cat. Tupac fuck with East Coast and West Coast niggas. How you gonna have Nice and Smooth out there with him and they from the East Coast? You understand what I'm saying? He fuck with niggas from the East Coast, West Coast, down south, the whole 9 yards. Pac had some shit with him, yeah. But all them niggas had shit with them. All them niggas behind scenes talk shit.
This new perspective forces us to rethink what really went down. Pac's fate, the involvement of New York's top names, and the mysterious actions of Suge Knight. According to Gene Deal, the story doesn't end in Las Vegas. He hints that the real proof, the receipts, might be hidden far away in Cuba. Deal talks about secret recordings, documents, and other evidence that could finally show what really happened that night. It's the kind of evidence that could change everything we think we know about Tupac, Jay-Z, Diddy, and Suge Knight.
Still alive and well, Suge Jr. has been posting images of Tupac posing with celebs, saying that the rapper lives in Malaysia now and the Illuminati knows all about it. Meantime, today, Suge himself has been sentenced to 28 years in prison for killing a man with his truck in Compton, California, 4 years ago.
Deal describes it like this. While the world focused on the chaos in Vegas, some people were quietly covering their tracks, moving information to places where no one would look. Cuba, he says, is one of those places, a safe spot, a place where secrets could survive, unseen. And if the story is true, these receipts could be the smoking gun, a clear, undeniable link between events that have been mysterious for decades.
She like Pac having one lung, for example. You know what I mean? Never have his voice again. You know, Pac loved music. I think they had to remove a finger or something. She like, I know my son. His pride, he probably wouldn't be able to live like that. You know, she just felt like he fought enough, and she decided to, let him go. No one questioned her and said, why did you do it and stuff like that. You know, people just supported her decision.
Think about it. A single document, a tape, a note, something small but powerful enough to rewrite history. Something that could explain why investigations went cold and why so many questions about that night remain unanswered.
Not die of the car crashed, and some of them motherfuckers got killed.
Okay, fair enough.
Some of them plane crashes were deliberate.
Okay.
So spill the over into hip hop, man. It is a possibility.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
It ain't, believe me, it ain't just opening.
Deal doesn't claim to have seen everything, but he insists the trail leads to Cuba. And that's where things get even more complicated. If this evidence exists, someone powerful would have reason to hide it. Someone who could manipulate what the public knows, controlling the story for decades. This isn't just theory. It's a claim that, if verified, could finally explain one of hip-hop's most enduring mysteries. The question is, who's keeping it buried and why? If true, this could explain why the case has never been solved. But who's covering it up? This isn't just another rumor. Gene Deal has history. He was right there, by Big E's side, when tragedy struck. He's lived through the chaos, the danger, and the secrets that have haunted hip-hop's deadliest nights. Over the years, he's shared bits and pieces, stories that sounded unbelievable. But now, according to Deal, there's something more, something that feels real, something that could finally shed light on the mysteries we've been chasing for decades.
Former close friend, Mr. Suge Knight. Recently, the LA County Jail inmate spoke to Ice-T and Soledad O'Brien as he told them that it was something about Pac's hospital stay after the 1996 shooting that simply didn't make sense.
Deal isn't speaking as an outsider. He was inside the rooms, inside the fights, and inside the moments that history didn't capture. That perspective gives his story weight. When he talks about hidden evidence, recordings, documents, or receipts possibly tucked away in Cuba, it's not just speculation. He's pointing towards something tangible, something that could verify decades of rumors, questions, and conspiracies.
The special Who Shot Biggie and Tupac airs on September 24th on Fox. Will you tune in to see the scoop that Suge has to share? Or do you think that he's just trying to lessen his sentence? Who knows? You guys will be the judge.
Why does it matter? Because this isn't just about the past. It's about truth, about understanding what really happened to Tupac, why events unfolded the way they did, and who really held the power behind the scenes. For fans, for history, for hip-hop itself, these revelations could rewrite everything we thought we knew about that night and the people involved. Could this finally bring the truth out of the shadows?